All right.
Getting ready to turn it on. You realize we're actually becoming characters, right?
Yes.
I mean, we're actually creating personalities here. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, we're trying.
We're doing it. It's. You may not have realized it yet, but we are.
No, I'm aware.
Okay.
I've listened to all the episodes today, so I'm aware.
Well, you've done more than I have.
Yeah.
Are they any good?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think we'll be okay.
Someday I'll get to listen to them.
Shut up.
All
right. Ready for the countdown?
Hang on a second. Hang on. Is there anything we need to change? The intro, the outro, anything about it you don't like, you want to change? I mean, don't give me a complex 10 seconds before we go on the air, but seriously.
Hang on. No, but.
What?
No.
Okay. I mean, seriously. Yes, sir.
No. I'm typing. Hang on. There.
Remember to plug the side. We're not plugging it enough. Good Lord, man.
We need to do it at the top and the bottom of the show.
My God, are we not doing it enough?
No, but that's standard. You plug it at the top, you plug it at the bottom. Dude, listen to any of these podcasts. They plug their stuff at the top and the bottom.
Honest to God, I would have thought we were plugging it 10 times a show.
We might be, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, what's the okay, I'm gonna hit the site. You hit the email address.
All right.
Okay. All right, hit it.
All right. In 3, 2, 1.
Stop.
Okay. All right.
What day is it? It's the hang on, I need a calendar. It's the 18th, so this will be for the comics on the 16th.
Yes.
Okay, take it. All right, go.
3, 2, 1.
What is up? This is another episode of the 6 Months Behind podcast where we talk about all things that are Marvel Unlimited for the week of May the 16th, 2016. I'm Pat.
I'm Sean.
And this is where we are. The website is www.6monthsbehind.com. You can reach us at
6monthsbehind@gmail.com. That's the letter 6 or the number 6, maybe the letter, who knows. The number 6 at 6monthsbehind@gmail.com.
It's 6 spelled out, right?
No, it's the number 6.
I thought it was 6 spelled out.
No, that was taken.
Okay, fine. It's another great week of comics.
Yes, and we were going to discuss all of the great comics coming out this week.
Came out this week, and there were actually 2 good Secret Wars comics that came out. I don't know if there's any left, but there were 2 good Secret Wars comics come out this week. What?
I think we're kind of scraping up to the bottom of the barrel with our Secret Wars comics. We're just about done.
I got to look at what's shipping next week. I don't think I saw any shipping next week. I've got that pulled up somewhere on my screen, but I don't, dude. Other than 8 and 9, I don't think there's anything left. And as we talk about Thor's number 4 in a moment, you'll see there's just not many left. So
yeah, there's not.
Anyway,
that's pretty much wrapped up, and we're all into the all new, all different Marvel universe.
Did you read Thor's number 4?
I did.
Well, let's talk about it. This book has been building, and it was kind of a murder mystery, is how it began. And of course, the Thors are Doom's police force, his security force for Battleworld.
Or Battleworld, yeah.
Well, for all of Battleworld, they're their police force. For Doomguard, they're his security force.
Right.
And
there's just a bunch of different Thors from different universes running around.
Correct. And in issue 1, there's a murder. And in issues 1 through 4, they're trying to solve the murder. Mm-hmm. And here in issue 4, they transition because they solve the murder. They find out who the murderer is, and they solve the murder. But they also transition into the rebellion that leads them to fighting amongst themselves and taking the fight to Doctor Doom because they realize that Doom isn't who he says he is, that Battle World isn't what it says it is, that, there is an Asgard and they ain't where they're supposed to be, and they're going to take it to Doom and fix things. And it's a great issue. It's really a great issue. Ties into Secret Wars I think it ties into 7. They came out last week.
Yeah, it does.
I think it's number 7 where he looks up and realizes the Thors are coming and think, oh, good, my Thors are coming, and then realize, oh, wait a minute, they're not necessarily on my side.
They're here for me. Oh no.
Yeah, it's a really great issue.
Yeah. To answer your question that you posed to me earlier, I think yesterday.
And here's the question: What are the Thors they're fighting Doom, fighting amongst themselves, and one of the Thors takes a hammer as Battle World is exploding and throws it, and it goes through time and space as these things often do in comic books, and lands on Asgard. And I don't recognize the hammer. I think it's Ultimate Thor's hammer, but I'm not sure. Is it Ultimate Thor's hammer?
Yes, you can tell by the curved back.
Okay,
it's got the axe on the back end of it.
Okay,
and it's also you see him. It's Ultimate Thor that's throwing it when reality shifts or whatever.
Well, see, there's so many Thors. I couldn't keep them all straight, and I wasn't sure if that was him or not.
Yeah, it's Ultimate Thor.
So he takes his hammer and just hurls it. I think he basically just hurls it to the sky, and it winds up going through time and space and lands on Asgard. So at this point, now in the post-Secret Wars era, there's a hammer just hanging out on Asgard waiting for somebody worthy to come pick it up. Yeah. So there you go. And when we get to Thor #1 in a few minutes, we might talk about the implication of that because that came out this week also.
Yes.
We might talk about the implications of not hammer being there. Great book. It's a great series. Now that all 4 issues are there, it's worth going back and reading. It's a murder mystery. It's got a bunch of great. Anybody who ever wielded the hammer is there, plus a lot of people who didn't. You get the Thor frog, you get Beta Ray Thor.
You get old Thor who's got like an eye patch and he's got an arm that's mechanical or something. And
man, I mean,
you have.
You get a drunk Thor who's reject serving Doom, and and realizes there's something wrong when he's not going to serve Doom anymore. It's just a great book. I mean, I highly recommend if you haven't read it yet, start with issue #1 and just read it through, man. It's a great book.
Yeah, particularly if you like Thor because it's chock full of it.
Yeah, it's all Thors.
yeah, it's all Thors. All Thors all the time.
There you go. Squadron Sinister #4 is the other Secret Wars book that we got, and I just got another ESPN alert. One of these days, I will remember to mute the phone as we begin. What is the ESPN alert? Hold on, dude. Seriously?
Silence all cell phones and pagers now.
Alabama offers scholarship to an 8th grade linebacker.
Oh, wow.
What is the world coming to? Okay. They're not the first, but they're now on the bandwagon. Okay, offering scholarships to 8th graders. There you go.
Let's just hope he's good in high school. I mean,
There you go.
Welcome to Vincent Tide Unlimited.
Yeah. Okay. We could sidetrack on this and really chase that rabbit down the road.
Yeah. We'll talk about football that's a different show.
Yes. Thor. No, we're past Thor. Squadron Sinister #4. This was it was a different book. When did Squadron Sinister #1 come out? Was that this week or last week?
You mean
the regular Squadron Sinister?
Yeah, in the all new to all different. I don't think it's come out yet.
Has it?
Yeah.
No. Okay, so we got Squadron Sinister #4.
Yeah, I was interested in reading it, and I thought this was it, and I opened it and I was like, oh nope, close.
Yeah, it's this book was okay. What I don't like about this, and even the new Squadron Sinister book, is they've spent several years now building Hyperon into an Avenger, and they've built a good backstory as to why he's an Avenger and why he's a hero. Because he started as a villain, then they made him into a hero, and now they've made him a villain again, or maybe not a villain, kind of a tweener, maybe. And I just, he's definitely a villain in this miniseries. He's definitely a villain, dude. He just kills anybody who gets in his way. I don't know. It's okay. This book's okay. It's one of those books that as we've talked before about Secret Wars books, they're all in an alternate universe. So it doesn't matter who lives and dies. So there's a huge body count in this limited series. Big body count. So lots of people living and dying in this series, and it was all right. I mean, it started off good and gave me high hopes and kind of fizzled out toward the end. Let's put it that way.
Okay, is this the last one in the series? You
Last
got one
one in
more
the series, yes.
Oh, okay.
No, this was it. No, this was it.
Four-parter. Okay.
Yeah. I will say this. I'm trying to remember the line from the Who song. It'll come to me eventually. Meet the old boss, meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
Mhm.
Kind of had that's kind of how it ends. And,
okay.
Yeah, it's anyway. It's pretty good. It's all right.
Cool.
Yeah. It's like half a thumb, maybe a knuckle. I don't know.
A knuckle.
A knuckle. Yeah.
All right, and that brings us to all new, all different Marvel. This is the current timeline, the current event, I suppose. And that gets us to Captain America number 3. I did not like this book.
What did you not like about it? I have not had time to read it. I read almost everything on this list except this book. What did you not like about it?
Well, the book starts out with Misty Knight, and she is looking for Captain America, and she finds him, but he's a werewolf.
Okay.
I'm not reading this book for Werewolf Cap. And I understand because they had to tell this storyline to get to something else. But this book is, hey, what if Captain America were a werewolf? They're really going to have to step it up if they want me to continue reading this book. I'm committed to 6 issues. If after issue 6, after the first story arc or so, it doesn't improve, I don't know. Because basically what you have is it just goes off the rails from the last 2 books. You had a storyline you're telling, then you're like, oh, Captain America's a werewolf. Here's how he became a werewolf. All right, now we're back to the regular story.
I didn't read
an excuse to write a Captain America werewolf story.
I didn't read this issue, but there's a major Avengers arc coming up.
Yeah.
Where they're going to tie Captain America and all the Avengers together, and that's going to lead into the Civil War. And it almost feels like they're killing time in this book until they get there.
And that may be what they're doing.
That's almost what it feels like. I mean, because when you get to some of the other books that we're going to talk about in this list, and some of the books we've talked about in previous weeks, they're so very good, and they've got such. We're fixing to talk about Deadpool, and I know you don't like Deadpool.
I don't not like Deadpool. I don't dislike Deadpool. I'm just not the biggest Deadpool fan.
But even Deadpool, I mean, has got a really good story arc going here. And it's just like this Captain America book. It's just killing time until they get to somewhere and do something else. I don't understand it.
Yeah, but it makes me like, why bring the Captain America book out now? Why not, why not launch it in 3 months?
I don't know, man. The Black Panther book launched
very recently.
This week, last month, I think.
Yeah.
Last month being is in April, which means we'll see it in 5 months on Unlimited.
Right. Yeah.
So why not bring the Captain America book out in a few months when you're ready for it? I don't understand.
That was my point, and I'm really looking forward to that Black Panther book, but it's going to be like August before we see it.
Yeah. But hey, there's other stuff to read between now and then, such as Deadpool.
All right, sell me on Deadpool.
Here's the thing about Deadpool. We try not to do spoilers on this show, okay? And I don't want to do spoilers on this show. But first off, Deadpool has kind of become... Remember a few years ago when Batman did Batman Incorporated, and he had all these guys running around as Batman? Well, that's what Deadpool's done. So he's hired a bunch of B-list heroes to be Deadpools. And they're like going out taking assignments. and it's you know it's maybe it's helping an old lady cross the street, or maybe it's a huge mercenary job over in Korea or something. Okay, and they literally range from that sort of thing. Okay, and some of them pay and some of them don't.
The Deadpool Corps.
It basically is. Yes, I forget what he calls them, but that's what they are.
Yeah, it's like the Nova Corps and the Green Lantern Corps. You got the Deadpool Corps.
It's like Solo. I don't know if you know who Solo is. He's a mercenary.
No.
Stingray, who's a B-list hero, who's been an Avenger before. I can't even remember the rest, but I mean it's like 5 or 6 B-list heroes. So you got them running around doing all these comical jobs and complaining about the pay and complaining about having to wear the costume and all these funny one-liners along the way. At the same time, you got this mystery going on, and you got Deadpool or somebody dressed as Deadpool or somebody you think is Deadpool killing important people in the Marvel Universe.
Hmm.
So you got this murder mystery thing happening, and at the end of issue 2, you realize it's actually someone else, and they don't tell you who it is because they don't show you his face. But you realize it's not Deadpool, but he's framing Deadpool for all these crimes, and he may even have set up this whole Deadpool Corps thing just to embarrass Deadpool. And you're like, wait a minute, if that's not Deadpool, then where's Deadpool? And is it Deadpool being an Avenger, or is it not Deadpool being an Avenger? And he just killed this dude. Did Deadpool kill the other dude, or did he do it? And it's really it's so on one hand you got all the comical Deadpool stuff that you get. On the other hand, you've got this writing of plot and mystery that's really good. It's really entertaining.
Yeah, in these other books that Deadpool's in, you don't see him take his mask. Huh. I wonder if makes me wonder. They've got a mole amongst the ranks, apparently.
I don't know, man. It's but because it makes me wonder where is and isn't Deadpool. And the time, the thing is, you've got all these Deadpools running around in this book, so there are times it could be like, okay, maybe that's Deadpool, or maybe that's Deadpool. And dude, it's good reading, man. It's good reading.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you might have sold me on it. I might check it out.
If you have doubts, wait until the end of this storyline, which looks like it's going to go on a while. I don't think it's going to end in the issue or two. It's going on for a while. You might want to wait for the end of this storyline and then maybe sit back and read the whole thing.
Okay, cool. All right, and that brings us to Extraordinary X-Men number 2. What'd you think of this?
I thought it was good. I did
too.
I really liked the ending. The ending was really good. They're spending a lot of time with this Jean Grey thing, which isn't bad. You and I had a discussion in the last episode about how to fix the X-Men. If you want to fix the X-Men, you bring Jean Grey back, and you bring Wolverine back. And to be honest, that's what they did in this issue.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You and I were kicking around the idea the other day that maybe Marvel's trying to kill the X-Men. And I started, much like they did with the Fantastic Four, because they want the movie rights back from Fox. And so I started thinking about, well, how do you do that? Well, you have a big cloud of Terrigen mist orbiting the planet, making mutants impotent and killing them. Then you kill off all the mutants, you replace them with Inhumans, and you basically make Inhumans the New Mutants. But after reading this book, and then especially at the very end, at the very last page, it shows you the other X books that are getting ready to come out. It makes me wonder if they're trying to put together a new X-Men for another generation.
Possibly.
Particularly with the all-new X-Men coming out in a couple of weeks, where it looks like a team of all the original X-Men. And when I say original X-Men, I mean the ones that Beast went back in time and picked up and brought here.
Right. Well, they've had a book before, and it's okay.
Yeah, but it makes me wonder if they're assembling these particular characters for a reason, particularly in this book.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but this has been a better X book than we've gotten in a while. And I'm actually
I
really,
will. Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
and I'm definitely really interested in where it's going to go. I'm on board with it.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. And that brings us to Mighty Thor #1.
This book is fantastic. It's only issue #1, and a lot of #1 issues, they just do a lot of groundwork laying, which is what they did here. But like Jason Aaron is so good at doing, he does it in a really compelling way, and he makes you care about the characters in the book. In this, you have Jane Foster as Thor. She is the one wielding the power of Thor. That's not a new thing. It's been going on a while. But she has cancer. And so she's
that's been going on a while too.
Yeah, that's not a spoiler either. But every time she wields the power of Thor, it cancels out any of the chemo treatment. And so you have this event going on that she really needs to deal with. And she's doing both. She's, while she's Thor, and in all of Thor's might. But when she's Jane Foster, she's a cancer riddled human being. And
yeah,
and not to spoil anything, but with the events that are ramping up in this book that are ramping up very quickly, there's turmoil on all of the 9 realms, and she's gonna need all her strength to deal with this.
Yeah, and it's and I was looking while you were speaking. I double checked this. This wasn't a 18-page book. This was 31 pages.
Yeah, it's a long book.
It was double sized for only Inside Baseball thing. That's why I kept Sean waiting, because I was trying to finish reading this and the Ultimates before we began. I didn't realize it was 31 pages when I began reading it.
Yeah.
But it was very good, and it's really complicated. And this is one of those books that, from pre-Civil War, pre-Secret Wars to post-Secret Wars, just didn't miss a beat. I mean, it's just, may not have even happened. I mean, they just picked up all the Roxxon storylines, the Dark Elf storylines, the problem with the realms, the problem with Odin being mad, just picked it all up, kept going. If you were reading Thor before, you can read it now. You didn't miss a beat, man.
Yeah. And, Jason Aaron's continuing writing on the book. Huge Jason Aaron fan. That guy, not just because he's a compelling writer, he is. He's also a local, but his writing is just superb.
And the other question I had there toward the end is, where's Odin's son at?
Who?
Thor.
Oh, regular Thor. Yeah, that seems to be the mystery, isn't it? And I think that hammer is going to play in the one we were talking about earlier in Thor's #4. Seems to have landed on old Asgard. And, I think there's some implication there of,
Is that not the same Asgard as this is?
I didn't take it as being. Because remember, they rebuilt Asgard at one point in time. It's been a while ago. Been a long while ago. But I don't remember.
I thought they were the same, but all right.
Yeah,
I get confused sometimes.
Yeah, I do too. It happens in books like this. Reality is destroyed. It comes back. New things, different things. Some things stay the same. But I think wherever he is, whenever he does come back, he's picking up that hammer, and then you get Team Thor.
Yeah, there you go. Speaking of teams, we now have the Spider books, which is Spider-Gwen #2.
I did not read this.
I did.
That was your assignment.
That was my assignment. My assignment was to labor through reading this. And here's the thing. Brian Michael Bendis launched the whole Unlimited universe with a new Spider-Man. And this Spider-Gwen is incredibly popular. And her universe, of which I forgot the number, is incredibly popular. So much so that they had that whole Spider-Man saga where they had Spider-Man from they must have had 200 Spider-Man, killed a bunch of them.
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse, Spider-Ham was there. They were all there, man.
Well, and it plays into both the Web Warriors and Spider-Man 2099 later on. The whole thing. You have a whole.
It's Spider-Ham in 29. It's Spider-Ham in Web Warriors.
Yes, he is.
Okay. You know what? I may read Web Warriors just to see Spider-Ham.
It's actually. We'll talk about it in a minute, but it's actually a really funny book.
Anyway, back to Spider. Go ahead.
My point was, you had the Spider-Verse event, and all of a sudden you have all these Spider-Men running around, and they're creating a Spider team. Or multiple Spider teams.
Are they all in the 616 universe?
Sort of.
For those who
a lot of them are.
For those who don't know, let's see if we can explain this. Pre-Secret Wars, there were lots of universes in the Marvel Universe. And the main universe that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created was the 616 universe. As time went on, and you had the Unlimited Universe, and you had other universes, and you had all the what-if universes, Marvel began numbering those universes. If you Google the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you will see it's actually assigned a number. It has a number.
Yes.
Every universe has a number.
Yeah, every iteration of Marvel that you've seen is a universe. The Spider-Man cartoon from the 60s is a Marvel universe.
The X-Men from the X-Men cartoon from the 90s is a universe.
Which is also the same universe as the Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s.
There you go. So they destroyed all these universes in Secret Wars. Destroyed them all. Actually, they destroyed them over a period of time in Avengers and New Avengers, but they destroyed them all. Then they began at the end of Secret Wars recreating them. They were recreated. Let's put it that way. And they're still being created. Without giving away too many spoilers, they're still being created. And Spider-Gwen lives in one of these alternate universes. That's the best way I can explain that. Her universe is numbered. I forget which one it is, but she lives in a different universe. And every now and then, people travel from universe to universe, and say, "Hey, how you doing? Hang out for a while."
Or like all the time, like it's some sort of transit system.
Yeah, and then go back to their own universe. And in this universe, Peter Parker died. And Gwen Stacy was bitten by the spider. And let me think. Her dad, Captain Stacy, and Ben Parker are on a mission to find out who killed Peter Parker. And everyone's convinced it's Spider-Woman, who happens to be Gwen Stacy. And she's out to prove her innocence. There's a lot of characters you're familiar with. Frank Castle happens to be the police commissioner. And they introduced a lot of superheroes in this issue. They introduced about half a dozen superheroes, including Captain America, the Falcon. They introduced a lot. They're building a universe here. They're not. It's just this isn't just Spider-Gwen. They introduced about half a dozen superheroes. They're building a universe here, and God bless them. I wasn't overly, it didn't grab me, but God bless them for it.
Yeah, if you're really into the Spider-Man books, it's probably worth checking out. Synopsis: what if Gwen Stacy were bitten by the radioactive spider instead of Peter Parker? Go.
There you go.
I read Spider-Man 2099. That book is good.
Now, Spider-Man 2099 is from the future, but he's stuck here in Earth 616 in 2016.
If you read Spider-Man 2099 from the Secret Wars, you figure out why. He's from the 2099 universe, which is a potential future of the 616 universe, where it's the year 2099 and everything's super futuristic.
And if you're not confused by now, kiddies, good luck.
Yeah. Well, it's comic books, man. It's just how it is. This is actually the first issue that I've read in this series. And I think I'm going to go back and read the others because I've been reading the regular Spider-Man book and not really any of the others. But I'm going to go back and read this one because it's really good. You've got this thing. Do you remember in the beginning of Civil War, where Tony Stark brings Peter Parker into, or it kind of takes him under his wing, and at some point he builds him an Iron Spider suit.
Yes.
It's imagine Spider-Man having an Iron Man armor. It's a super high-tech Spider-Man suit.
I was trying to decide if we were talking about the movie or the comic book, but he does it in both. So
yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Imagine, and what happens after is you get to see him in action with this Iron Spider suit. And so if you like that or like the idea of a super high-tech Spider-Man fighting villains, that's exactly what this book is. He's also fighting a really cool villain that I've never heard of that I think that is new, but he's really neat. And the overall implications of the storyline are pretty big. So, yeah, if you like Spider-Man or any of the Spider-Man books, it's absolutely worth reading.
Yeah.
And he's not the witty, lighthearted, bantery Peter Parker. The guy that Spider-Man 2099 is Miguel O'Hara from the 2099 universe. And he's just a different Spider-Man than you're used to. Yep. I'm not entirely sure the implications of the ending, but apparently that's supposed to be a pretty hard-hitting ending, and I didn't quite understand what it was, but maybe somebody
I've not read it,
to
but
me.
I will go back and read it, and I will explain it to you because I am that kind of guy.
All right, cool. Yeah, if you're into the spider stuff, read it.
Okay. I've just decided something. I have made a decision. We should have a book of the week. We should each come up with what is our favorite book of the week. Which book did we like most of the comics that came out this week? And my favorite book this week was undoubtedly Ultimates #1.
Yeah, mine too.
And
by a mile.
And here's the thing: is I can usually look at the list and say, I'm going to like Thor #1. I've been looking forward to it. I know it's coming. I see Thor #4, man. I know that this is leading up to the big fight at Doomguard. I know what book is I'm really going to like, right? And I read Ultimates #1, and I knew what it was about. I knew who the characters were. And then I read it, and I'm like, wow, that was good. I mean, I want to go back and read it again, okay? I mean, that was good, man. I mean, that was...
Yeah, I mean, this is if you want to read a Avengers book and not all the Avengers books, this is the one to read.
This is the one to read. This is Black Panther, Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
The Blue Marvel, Miss
America.
Miss America. Was Miss Marvel in there?
No.
I don't think...
Carol Danvers was Miss Marvel, but yeah.
Yeah, but the other Miss Marvel...
that's the other Avengers book.
Okay, yeah.
You got some Inhuman chick that I'm not familiar with.
The politically correct police are going to call you again.
Whatever.
We're missing a couple people, and I can't think of who.
Yeah.
Anyway, T'Challa builds the Triskelion. Okay, and it's like what is it? It's part of it's the Wakanda embassy.
Yeah,
part of it's an Avengers base, and part of it is what?
It's the Ultimates. It's where they research
it's the Ultimates
cosmic problems and solve them before they happen.
Yeah, it's just, dude, it's a totally cool book.
It is. So, it's high concept, complex storytelling.
Here's the best part, and if this is a spoiler and we give it away, we'll just give away a spoiler.
Okay.
They obviously put their heads together and think, okay, what cosmic problem do we need to solve? Oh, we need to solve Galactus because Galactus eats planets. So they just decide to go out and kill Galactus.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're here to kill you. Let's throw hands, Galactus.
Yeah, and he's like, all right, come on in, let's talk. You're just like, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Everybody gives it a shot. Come on in. I know you're going to give it a shot. Come on in. Let's talk about it.
And the art's good. Apparently, it's Kenneth Rocafort. I don't know who that is. Rocafort's the cheese. That's about all I know. This is comic book reading for veteran comic book readers. This is not lighthearted. It's not easy to access. It's not easy to follow. But if you want a really rich, complex story that is dealing with cosmic matters, particularly the characters within the cosmic level of Marvel's universe, this is the book for you.
I'm reading a book about the history of Marvel Comics. And one of Stan Lee's goals was to take comic books out of the hands of kids, these 6 to 12-year-olds, and put them in the hands of teenagers and college students. Okay, to elevate the reading level of the comic book reader.
Yes.
By golly, this was his goal. This
Yes.
book was his goal. Okay, because you put this comic book in the hand of a 6-year-old, he's not even going to be able to pronounce half these words.
Yes. This is comic, like I said, veteran comic book readers.
Yes.
That's who this is aimed at. And it's got some seriously interesting implications.
Yep.
In terms of the story.
Yep. Next we have Uncanny Avengers number 2.
What did you think?
I actually enjoyed it. Now, let's use the thumb system, okay? In 5 thumbs, I'll probably give it about a 2.5 or 3.
Yeah, it's about where I am with it. You've got this villain who's got a big tree growing in the middle of Boston, and he's trying to take over the planet because climate change or something. And you've got a brand new team of Avengers who are kind of struggling to deal with it. And then you've got Deadpool just cracking jokes left and right in the face of death, which is great.
But here's the thing. About halfway through the book, I'm trying to decide. This is really spoilers. You realize they fell miserably and the world ends.
Yes.
And
you realize that they failed.
They failed. And at one point, Tony Stark and Steve Rogers are having a conversation. He's like, hey, man, do I need to come bail your team out? Because it really looks like they're really messing this up. And do I need to bring my team in and come help your team? And Rogers is like, yeah, I don't know, man. They're looking pretty bad here. And then you realize they fail and the world ends. And there's a hero from the future who finds a newspaper and said, yeah, Deadpool screwed this one up. I need to go save him. And comes back in time, apparently in the next issue, to save him.
Yeah.
And
that I'm looking forward to.
And I had forgot that guy was supposed to be a member of the team. And if you want to go find out who that is, you can. If not, wait for issue 3 or go read issue 2. But I had completely forgot that was happening. And they tease it for 2 or 3 pages, and at the last page, you get a big splash page of him. I completely forgot he was coming, and I completely forgot he was going to be a member of the team. Because I tell you what, the problem with that team was they didn't have a field leader. By golly, you need a field leader. You put that guy in charge. You put that guy in charge, there won't be anybody left alive, okay?
Yeah. And not to get too spoiler with it, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to what's coming. This is certainly not my favorite of the Avengers books that's out there, but it's a good one. It's totally worth a read.
And it has hope. Issue 3 has hope because he's coming.
Yes.
Yes.
Our Savior is returned.
Yes. No pun intended there.
Yes. Web Warriors number 1. I take it you did not read this.
I did not read this, no.
Okay. So out of the Spider-Verse event came all these Spider-Men. And there came a particular one who saw a mission or felt the need to traverse the universe, find universes where their Spider-Man had died or had never been born or had never existed, and be the Spider-Man of those universes. So he assembles a team to do it. And you have Spider-Gwen, you have Spider-Woman from the 616 universe, not Jessica. What's her name?
Is that the one that's pregnant?
No, not that one. Not that Spider-Woman. Jessica. What is her name?
Drew.
Jessica Drew.
Jessica Drew.
No, it's not. I always want to say it's Jessica Jones, but it's not Jones. Jessica Drew is not. That's not that one, but it's the redheaded one. Who always wore the black suit.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. Yes,
you have Noir.
Not Silk, but yeah. Anyway,
yeah, not Silk. That's a new character. You got that Spider-Woman. You've got some Spider-Man who's from Mumbai, and he's like a super genius. So you've got like Monk Spider-Man, and you've got Noir Spider-Man, who's like, if you're not familiar with the Spider-Man Noir series from a few years ago, 1930s era espionage type thing. You also have Spider-Ham.
I love Spider-Ham, man. I just do.
If you like Spider-Ham, you need to read this because he's all up in it, and it's fun. Like the book's funny. Like they start out, and I was telling you about the Spider-Man from the '60s cartoon.
Pig dressed as Spider-Man. Okay, what is? It's laugh at that and be funny. It's a pig dressed as Spider-Man with Spider-Man's powers. How can you not find that entertaining?
He was a spider who was bitten by a radioactive pig.
Better yet, let's take Spider-Ham and the Thor that held frog, the frog that held Thor's hammer, and team them up. Okay, that's the ultimate Marvel team up right there.
Wow. Oh, and he and Werewolf Captain America, and you got a team going.
The frog is in the Thor book. Okay?
I know.
I mean, you put the two together and you got a team up, man.
Man.
Seriously, and put them in the Spider-Mobile and let them go.
But their mission is to traverse the universe and help universes that don't have a Spider-Man. So you see them starting out, they're training in the universe that is where the Spider-Man cartoon from the 60s takes place. Because those guys they're just punching bags. And you see the animation, and it's, that little flat 2D, and they're spouting lines of, holy cow, don't hurt me, and that sort of thing. Just really cheesy lines from that show. And for those who are internet savvy, you'll notice there's a particular panel in the book that's really funny. It's a reference to an internet meme. You'll know it if you see it. So the book's real goofy, but there are very serious implications as to what they're doing. And you see this with the Noir Spider-Man. He's on the prowl and he's investigating things, and you find out there are deeper things going on. So if you want a lighthearted book that's going to have an impact on probably the greater Spider-Man universe, this is a good book. I was pleasantly surprised.
Before we move to the Star Wars books,
yes.
Can you just picture the Marvel offices by 8 o'clock one night, and everybody's going home, and there's 2 or 3 writers passing around a bone,
God.
And they're like, "We're going to give Thor's hammer to a frog. A frog is going to be able to lift the hammer." And then once they come up with the idea and the concept, they have to take their editor out the next night and get him drunk enough to sign off on it. And then they write the friggin' book, and they have to get him drunk again to get it past him when they get it written and drawn. Can you just picture this happening? I mean, seriously, who comes up with this idea, man? Who comes up with the frog lifting Thor's hammer?
I don't know, man. Probably the same people that bring you a radioactive spider, or a spider getting bitten by a radioactive pig.
I know how that a radioactive pig.
Oh, jeez, it's funny stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, to bring us into the Star Wars books, did you read Kanan number 8?
I did not. No,
I didn't think you did.
Home, man. Just talk.
If you like the Star Wars Rebels cartoon series, this is a book you should be reading. I've detailed the main story going on, and as you're cracking up at Spider Pig still, Kanan is a in his adult iteration, he is essentially a mercenary working for the Rebel Alliance. But this book takes you through him as a kid, and he was a Jedi Padawan, and his journey to becoming how he got to be where he is today. Good book if you like any of the Star Wars books.
There you go.
Yep.
I'm just like, who dreams that up, man? Seriously.
I don't know, man. Then you got your dump for this week.
I forgot about the
It's all
I
X-Men
was
all the time.
like Beckley's books. Is it all X-Men?
Dude, it's all X-Men. You got one book from 2009-ish, an X-Men Origins book, and then it's all X-Men from the 90s.
I wonder why they're dumping so many of these books.
Yeah, I don't know. You and I keep having this discussion. Maybe one day it will be revealed to us. But it's all X-Men stuff from the 90s. It's moving out of the Jim Lee era into
Carlos Pachira.
yeah, when you've got some Kubert stuff being written here or being drawn, and it's all Joe Quesada and Mark Waid stuff, and it starts to get into where it's like mid '90s and it's starting to struggle. I haven't really read any of this, but I flipped through a little bit of it, and it gets into kind of where X-Men went off the rails in the '90s.
Well, dude, that's when Marvel was bankrupt and a lot of stuff went off the rails.
Yeah. So that's your dump for the week. It's all X-Men. If you like if you like 90s X-Men comics, man, I got something to show you.
There's about 20 there to read.
Yeah, I mean, the last one here is the Age of Apocalypse X-Men, and that's where Magneto rips the adamantium out of Wolverine and he becomes feral for a while, and yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that had been in there. Okay. Okie dokie. All right, I have regained my sanity. I'm not thinking about the Marvel bullpen anymore.
You're not thinking about the various animals that could take on the attributes of superheroes.
No, I'm not, and I don't need to return there, or we'll go back off the rails.
Oh Lord.
Next week we should have Wolverine #2, Angela Queen of Hell #2, Carnage, Chewbacca, Darth Vader, Guardians of the Galaxy, Howling Commandos, a couple more. There you go.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that Howling Commandos book.
That was good. That was a good book.
Yeah, I'm really interested in to see where that goes.
And all of these books, if you want to know where they are, you go to the page on our website, which is www.6monthsbehind.com. The number 6 spelled out SIX.com.
And if you want to get in contact with us, hit us up at 6monthsbehind@gmail.com. That's the number 6 monthsbehind@gmail.com. Any parting guidance or wisdom for our true believers?
I don't believe so. Just contemplate a frog lifting a hammer and a I can't even say it. A pig, and a spider. That's all I got, man.
Nice. See ya.
Peace.